Good evening to my old friend, colleague, and Hall of Famer, Steve Flink. We are going to talk about ladies, our favorite subject. But being correct, we are not stalkers. Don't, 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 uh, don't take me wrong. Let's start with the winner of Indian Wells. This girl, Iga Swiatek. Is she going to beat all the ladies' record, if not the one of Martina Navratilova and Chris Evert, but closing Serena Williams, because she's still young and she can win a lot of slams. Until now, she has won only four, three Roland
Yeah.
Garros and one US Open. But in terms of uh, Masters 1000, she has won already eight.
Yeah, listen, it's hard to gauge. There are times when she looks vulnerable to certain kinds of players. She didn't play well in Australia. She has yet to break through at Wimbledon. She had a disappointing loss at the US Open last year, even though she won there the year before. So there are times when she seems to, where she surprises you that she's not playing the way she did this past week. Because you watch her this past week in Indian Wells, 21 games she lost in the tournament. Nobody takes her past 6-4. She's destroying everybody. Beat Sakkari 4-love in the final. She looked invincible, but it seems to come and go a bit. So my guess is she won't approach Steffi Graf, Serena Williams territory of 22, 23 majors, but she will win quite a few more. And I hope that she will make the transition at Wimbledon one of these years and show that she can play on the grass. She's already proved it in New York at the Open and hasn't yet done her best in Australia. The French is the one that she could win. She said, as you mentioned, she's won it 3 times. I would expect her to win probably at least another 3 more in Paris.
Yeah, well, because she's young. She could. I don't
Yeah.
say that she. I don't say that she can be the Rafa Nadal of the ladies, but in Roland Garros she will be the favorite for quite a few years probably. I don't see anyone coming up. Maybe Coco Gauff, because Rybakina doesn't seem to play so well on clay. Sabalenka, yes and
Well,
no.
Sabalenka, you bother. Sabalenka is awfully good on clay too. That would be. I'd like to actually see that be the final in Roland Garros because Sabalenka to me is almost as good on clay as she is on hard court. You wouldn't think so with her style, but her results are there. And she should have been in the finals last year. She let that semifinal get away. I feel like it was very close to being the final last year between these two. So I would like to see that matchup because it's the 2 best players in the world. And Sabalenka is such a great shot maker, so powerful. But Iga is the one that's sturdier, steadier, more reliable.
You know, I must say that I saw Sabalenka losing to Camila Giorgi at Roland Garros, so missing everything which was possible. Camila Giorgi was playing well, but I mean Sabalenka was making a lot of double faults. Now she doesn't make them so many anymore, so she's improving, but she's still so volatile. I mean, she can play very well, maybe 5 matches, and then the 6th one she misses. I mean, while on clay, I have the impression that Swiatek is much more consistent.
She's more consistent, but Sabalenka has beaten her on clay, and she's had great matches with her on clay. So I feel like that maybe if you ask Swiatek in private, she wouldn't necessarily admit it in a press conference. Who's the one you would least like to play in Paris? She might actually say Sabalenka. Now, I don't mean to say that I would consider Sabalenka the favorite because I wouldn't. I just would give her a decent chance there. I'd make Iga the slight favorite if they were to meet. But it's a good matchup. And she's the one, because she's got such big shots off both sides, so much power and explosiveness, she's dangerous. Plus, you're right about her temperament. She's a little fragile, very emotional, but these days she's pulling out more of the close matches, even on the days when she's struggling, like against Madison Keys at the US Open last year. And or here in Indian Wells against the young American Stearns, she's down triple match point and she came out back and to win the match. I feel like she's now more capable of pulling out matches on the days when she seems to be off her game.
Well, she has, as you say, the powerful shots, and then if Iga Swiatek is serving her second serve, Sabalenka can take advantage of it because she can aggress that the attack, the second serve of Swiatek, which is probably the weakest point of the Polish girl.
Yeah,
anyway.
It is. Yeah, but Ubaldo, you mentioned about how she used to serve all those double faults. That's the other thing about Sabalenka is that's not the case anymore. There was a stage where she would serve ridiculous number of double faults, 20, 25, crazy numbers. That's not happening anymore. She's straightened that out, and that's made a big difference too, that she's not afraid that her serve is going to go way off because it doesn't. So I feel like she's better, that she deserved to win the Australian Open. There's a reason why she defended her title, and that she's I would love to see her then come to Paris and play Iga in the finals there and see what happens. That would be my wish.
Listen, and about Coco Gauff, I mean, she's already up there since almost 3 years, or even more than 3 years. So we start seeing her doing well when she was 16, and now she's about 20, well, I saw her making 17 double faults in Indian Wells. I was thinking while she was doing one double fault after the other, I was remember Anna Kurnikova when she made 31 double fault in a match at the Australian Open. That has been the record of women double faults at the big level.
Yeah, well,
how do you explain it? How do you explain it?
Sabalenka was pretty close to that record too. No, Coco had these problems up until recently. She was serving a lot of double faults. That's the first time in a while that we've seen her serving anything like 17 doubles. That worries me a bit. It was just one match. She won the match, luckily. And then she played better, served better, not against when she lost to Sakari in the 3-set match. She played better, but she's had a tough time. She won a tournament before the Australian, lost to Sabalenka in the semis of the Australian. And if she would have won that match, she probably would have won the tournament. But since then, hasn't played her best, Ubaldo. There's no doubt about it. I mean, she didn't play that well. It was a good achievement for her, considering how she was playing, that she made the semifinals at Indian Wells. But I think she's going to be looking to play a lot better to lift her game in Miami.
Look, anyway, out of the top 10, I don't see anybody but Swiatek, Sabalenka, Gauff to be able to win the tournament, because Pegula is playing is not in in great shape. Jabeur is losing a lot of times. The Chinese girl Zheng, she's an interesting character, but I don't see her good enough to win a Master 1000. And Sakari, okay, she did pretty well reaching the final, but she made only 4 games versus Swiatek. Ostapenko, she has ups and downs too. And then I don't see anybody dangerous enough. Kudermetova didn't impress me a lot. There is the young Andreev, no?
Right. Yeah, no, you're right. I think you're right in the way you're assessing all of those players right now. I wouldn't disagree with you. I do think Pegula, who parted ways recently with her coach David Witt, who's now coaching Sakari, got off to a good start with Sakari, and that was nice that Sakari made the finals in Indian Wells. But Pegula, she's in a little bit of a slump right now. I don't expect it to last, because her results were so good in 2023 and 2022. And for a long time, she was 3 in the world, and she hasn't been able to get past the quarters at a major, but she's done very well in the other tournaments. And she's due to start playing better tennis than she has. I'm hoping that maybe Miami is where she starts to turn her year around, because it's a disappointing start for her.
Listen, aren't you, Steve, curious to see Halep playing Badosa and whoever, if she wins, I doubt, to be honest, because after all what she has been through, I would be very surprised if she is capable immediately to beat Badosa. But then she would have to play Sabalenka, which years ago Halep would have had the consistent game
Yeah,
to
right.
create a problem to an erratic
Yeah,
Sabalenka on a bad day.
yeah, true. Not right now, I don't think. I do actually give her, though, a decent shot against Badosa, only because I think Badosa, well, you mentioned Tsitsipas maybe being distracted by the relationship. Maybe she is too, but more importantly, I think she's had injuries. She hasn't been able to really get on a roll, as they say, and start winning a lot of matches and building the confidence that she had 2 years ago. So right now, I think she kind of doubts herself, and she also gets tight. And against Halep, with the Miami crowd thrilled to have Halep back after her suspension, they'll get behind Halep, and Badosa, it could make her a little nervous. So I think if Simona can stay with her for a set and a half, I give her, I don't make her the favorite, but I give her a reasonable chance to win that match.
Okay. Listen, Steve, thanks a lot again. As usual, it has been a pleasure to talk with you, and we may talk again either in the middle of the Miami Open or at the end of it. We will see how everything goes. And thanks a lot again to my old friend, colleague, and Hall of Famer, Steve Flink, my best friend.
Thank you, my friend. I enjoyed it.